there, welcome to today's session. So today's session is going to be a standing session. Standing session, this is going to be suitable for all levels. It's suitable for pre and for postnatal as well. It is also a little routine that you could do in the morning first thing when you've got out of bed and your body's lying in different positions, the spine's maybe quite compressed, just to try and prepare your body, warm up the spine, get the body awareness in right from the start. Also going to be a few balancing exercises, so really trying to get the alignment, the body awareness and balance systems, just trying to fire that all up. Okay, so to start off with, we're just going to get the soles of the feet planted down on the floor, base the big toe, base the little toe, centre the heel, forms your two tripods, anchor the tripods down and lengthen the toes. So we're not rotated out, we're not rotated down, but we've got that nice even grounding through the soles of the feet. As you push your soles of the feet into the floor, begin to drop through the arches, through the inner thighs, drop to the pelvic floor, draw the belly button towards the spine and slide up behind the rib cage. Open across the chest and the collarbone and both sides of the body in the Pilates box nice and even, nice and lengthened, and then let the shoulder blades just slide down towards the base of the spine. Crown of the head nice and tall towards the ceiling, length through the back of the neck, so we're not poking the chin or the forehead tall to the ceiling. So when we have that stacking and that alignment and we're all set up, we're just going to start to roll our shoulders. So we tend to hold and carry a lot of tension in our shoulders and our neck, so we're just trying to give a little release. So drawing them up, sliding them wide and down, trying to think balance, trying to think symmetry through the two sides of the body. And then on the next one, and inhale as we draw the two shoulders up, and exhale, just let it go. Let go of the tension, the stress, the breath. Inhaling, and exhale. And one more inhale, and let it go. Perfect. So the next ones is going to be our spinal movements. So we're going to start with our forward flexion. We're going to clasp our hands. We're going to cradle the base of the skull in the hands, elbows just in our peripheral vision, and use those hands to try and get a nice length through the back of the neck. I'm going to turn to the side so we can see a little bit better on this. So we have a nice stacking, nice alignment. We're using the hands to lengthen through the back of the neck. Inhale, reaching the crown of the head tall, and as you exhale, as though you're coiling your spine up, you're rolling your spine down. And as you roll down, it's emptying, a squeeze, and then emptying all the breath, and then bringing the elbows together at the bottom so that we can stretch across the upper back and in between the shoulder blades. And then as we inhale, we float the elbows out and we begin to stack the spine, creating space in between each vertebrae until we send the crown of the head nice and tall. And then as we exhale, we begin to lift the gaze, the chest, the heart. We bring our body into slight extension. You take it as far back as you feel comfortable. You can go quite far back if that's fine in your body. Don't take it too far back if you're postnatal or prenatal. And then inhale. Begin to wrap the corset, draw the rib cage together, stack the spine tall. Exhale, rolling it down. As you roll down, draw the elbows together. As you inhale, restack the spine, thinking more length, more space, reaching the crown of the head tall. And then again, as you exhale, lift the gaze, the chest, the heart, open from elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder, open across that collarbone, and then bring it all the way back in. Now for our lateral bends, so same position. Find the length through the two sides of the body, but also through the spine and through the back of the neck. Inhale the breath. As you exhale, take your right elbow down to the floor and send that left elbow tall to the ceiling. So we're shortening through one side of the waist, but we're opening through the other side of the waist, opening and lengthening through the ribs, feeling that stretch, and we're opening through the side of the spine, and then we restack, hugging the waist away from waistband, drawing the waist away from our clothes. Inhale the breath and exhale opposite side. And making sure that we take that lateral bend from side to side, that we don't begin to rotate forward. It's like we're in between two panes of glass. And then we restack, bringing it nice and tall into centre, lifting the ribcage out the pelvis. And as you exhale, trying to sink into it just a little deeper. Feet staying anchored. Think about the tripods, maintaining their position in the floor. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale that gentle lateral bend. Stretching from elbow to foot, and then restacking all the way back into centre. So we have our forward flexion, our back extension, lateral bends either side, now our final movement and our spinal rotation. So we use the hands to get that traction, to get that length. Imagine on the front of our hips we have two little headlights. They're going to stay pointing forward. We're going to inhale, lengthen the spine, get that space before we rotate, With the exhale, spiraling the spine upwards, headlights facing forward, and then inhale, bring it all the way back into center. Exhale, opposite direction, spiral spine upwards. Inhale, bring it tall into center. On this one, as we exhale and ring it out, 3 little pulses. 1, 2, 3. Create that space, draw that breath in. Opposite side, exhale. 3 little pulses. 1, 2, 3. Draw all the way back into center. Let the arms release down, and now just a little bit of free rotation. Letting the hands gently tap off the body. And as they tap off the body, they bring the blood flow, they bring the awareness to that area. They just give that little bit of stimulation. That's the crown of the head reaching nice and tall. And just again, as we rotate, ease out any tension in our body. And then bring it back into center. Okay, realign if you need to. Find that nice grounding, feet stay hip distance apart, tailbone tucked under, pelvis nice and neutral. We're nice and lengthened through the spine, lifting the rib cage out of our pelvis. So we're taking to dumb weight with our elbows tucked into the side of the body. Form a nice line from our elbow to our wrist to our fingertips. So imagine this dumb weight, imagine you've got a tray balanced on your forearm here. So we're going to inhale, lengthen the spine through the crown of the head towards the ceiling again. And as you exhale, open across the chest and the collarbone as we open out. And then inhale, bring it all the way back into center. Exhale, open out nice and wide. Feel that gentle lift of the chest and then gently draw back in. Exhale. And then inhale, drawn tall back into center. Couple more. Exhale in the breath. Rotating through the shoulder, opening, lifting through the chest. This is a nice one to stop any rounded shoulders. Keep that Pilates box nice and open. Holding it there, little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands back into center and rest it down. Perfect. We're going to take our arms this time, another little one for our arms. We're going to reach our arms nice and wide. So imagine on the middle fingers of each hand, we have a little pencil, a little crane. You're going to try and draw small little circles with the middle fingers. Keep the shoulder blades drawn down towards the base of the spine. Find that length through the neck, crown of the head reaching tall. Keep reaching nice and long. Gently draw the waist and away from the waistband of the trousers. Scoop that belly button towards the spine and behind the rib cage. Drawn up through the pelvic floor, so we will try to lighten that load. We're not bearing down. Small little circles, both going at the same time. And then pause. Reverse the circles, opposite direction. So it's working into the shoulder stability. Making sure the shoulders don't begin to creep up as his body starts to tire. Whenever it does, then you just rest out. Okay, so try and keep the good quality movement. Try not let the bad habits creep in. As soon as you do, rest, take it down a level, come back in with good principles, good alignment, good control. And then from there, pause, get even more length, reach the fingertips away, draw the shoulders down, away from the ears. We're going to rotate one palm tall to the ceiling. And the other hand is facing down towards the floor. Now we're just going to change it over. Rotating one way, rotating the other. Lengthening, reaching through the middle fingers. Trying to get as much distance from one hand to the other. Opening across the chest and the collarbone. The whole time as we're working and rotating through the hands, we're trying to stay stable through the rest of the body. Try not to let our pelvis start to tilt. Our spine come out for alignment. Keeping our natural curves in our spine. So that nice curve at the lower lumbar spine and at the back of the neck. And those curves in our spine, they will act as the shock absorbers. So we have to try and make sure that they're maintained. Nice and flexible through the spine. Another 3. Another 2 and change. And 1 and change. Palms of the hands down. Let the arms rest down. Give a few little rolls to the shoulders. You'll feel that little burn in the shoulders and the arms and the upper body. Perfect. From there, we're just going to take it into some opening squats. So again, I'll turn to the side so we can see a little bit better on this one. Our feet stay hip distance apart. Our toes are going to stay pointing forward, nice and grounded through the tripods and the soles of the feet. Tuck the tailbone under. We're just going to think about that nice opening through the front of our hips. Our glutes are activated. We're going to squat it down. As we squat it down, find that length from tailbone to the crown of the head. Draw the rib cage together, so we've not popped the ribs and arched the spine yet. Send the arms away, and as you press the floor away with the arms and the feet, bring yourself back up into tall standing. Inhale, find that length, sinking the bum down. Exhale, press. Inhale, sinking it down. Exhale, press and lengthen. Couple more of these, sinking it down, press back up, sinking it down, press back up. On the next one, pause in there. Relax those shoulders down away from the ears. Draw the rib cage together. Soles of the feet anchored. We zipped up through the pelvic floor so we're not bearing our weight down. Little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From there, opening squats. We're going to float the hands, lift the gaze, lift the chest, lift the heart, open the body, and glide the gaze and the hands back down. Again, floating up. Lifting the gaze, lift the chest, lift the heart, but slide the shoulder blades down away from the ears, and then glide our hands down. And our last one, floating the hands up. Looking through the hands, reaching the hands and the gaze tall to the ceiling. Inhale the breath. As you exhale, push the floor away. Bring yourself up into standing. Activate through the back of the legs and the glutes. Open through the hips and glide the hands down, and a few little rolls with our shoulders. Perfect. Okay, for the next one, we're going to take it into some challenge balances. So you can stay standing normally, or you can bring yourself towards a chair or a wall, just to give one hand on there, just to give a little bit more balance, a little bit more assistance if you need it. If not, your hands can be on the hips, your hands can be out to the side, whatever works best for you. Well, we have our Pilates box. Our Pilates box is nice and square. Both sides of our waist are nice and even. And we're going to try and stay square off that Pilates box. And we're just going to come off this mat. So we're on a harder surface. So we get a little bit more grounding down into the floor. Okay, so nice and tall through the spine. We start by bringing it to the tips of the right toes. So we've kept our hips nice and level, both sides of our waist nice and even. And like we have a little string tied to our knee, we're just going to float that leg up. So now our thigh is parallel to the floor. We've tried not to hitch and compensate. We've tried to keep it nice and even. Arms wherever work for you. Feet, we can get more feedback, popping the hands onto the hips if you need to. And we're just going to hold it there. This is our static balance. We're pushing the tripod of the sole of that left foot down into the floor. We're reaching tall through the crown of the head towards the ceiling. We kept our corset wrap, we've kept drawn up through the pelvic floor. Another 3, another 2, another 1. Return the toes down, return the heel down, ready for the other side. So again, find that nice base of support. The more you can spread your toes and find that space through the foot, the stabilizing the foot, the easier it's going to be for the balance and for the position. If your toes are all curled up or you've rolled to one side or the other, then all of a sudden this makes that a little bit harder, okay, because you've shifted the balance. We've not got that nice wide base of support. So when you're ready, lengthen the spine again, lift the rib cage out of the pelvis, draw belly button towards the spine behind our ribs. And so when we have that little string, we're going to take it to tips of toes and then float that leg up. So again, our thigh bone is parallel to the floor. Hips are nice and level, we're lengthened and lifted through both sides of our body. And so we have that string in the back of the head and neck, reaching us nice and tall towards the ceiling. We're trying to find that balance. Our body awareness and balance systems working hard to keep us there as still as we can. 3 and 2 and 1, and slowly lower the toes down and rest the foot down. Give a little march out again. Okay, so we've done our static balance. Now we're going to take it to our dynamic balance. Spread the toes, find that tripod, find that nice base of support, ground into the floor. Hands wherever works best for you. Bring it to the tips of the toes. Float that leg up to tabletop. So now we're going to send the leg away and draw back up. We'll turn to the side so again we can see this. We're going to send the leg away and draw back in. Send the leg away. We bring it back into tabletop. Reach through the toes. Draw back in. Stay nice and tall through the spine. We're open through the chest. The shoulder blades are slid down. The rib cage is drawn in. We have 3. Draw back in. Send away for 2, draw back in, 1 more, lengthen, draw the leg back in, place the toes down, place the heel down. Okay, ready for the other side. From there, find your nice grounding through the soles of the feet. Send the crown of the head nice and tall, zip up through the pelvic floor. Take it to the tips of the toes. Like we have that little string, float that leg up to tabletop, find your starting position. Pilates box is nice and square. Think single leg stretch. We send the leg away so the thigh bone comes away from the body, the thigh bone comes back up. The spine and the pelvis stay as still as they can. As you power the leg away and draw the leg back in. Send the leg away with the inhale. Exhale to return. 3 more. Draw back into center. 2 more. Reach through the toe. Draw back in. 1 more. Send the leg away. Draw the leg back in. Slowly release the toes down. Release the heel down. And give a little march. Perfect. So there's our little standing balance now, just to finish the session, just giving a little bit free rotation once again, sending the crown of the head nice and tall towards the ceiling, relaxing through the shoulders. Perfect. Well done.